Hear that? Good afternoon. It's 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. We will call the City Council meeting of the City of New Ulm to order. At this time, item number 1 is the consent agenda. Councilors, what are your wishes?
I'll offer a motion to approve those.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion does carry. Item number 2.1, we do have a public hearing regarding the final plot of Oakwood UMC First Edition. Mr. Schnobrick.
Yeah. Madam President, members of the City Council, the applicant in this particular case is Oakwood United Methodist Church. The location of the area to be platted, the street address is 1630 Oakwood Avenue and 1613 Betker Road. The Planning Commission considered the final plat at their March 28th meeting and unanimously recommended approval. The current legal description of the property is the balance of Block 3, Schweppes Edition. The current zoning of the property is R1. Currently located on the property is the United Methodist Church, their parking lot, and parsonage. I might note that the preliminary plat was approved by the City Council with conditions at your February 28th meeting. From the legal description, you will note that the property consists of one lot. The plat will divide the property into 3 lots. The 3 lots all comply with our zoning standards for the R1 zoning district. And the plat would allow the church to sell the parsonage and the undeveloped lot. At the time of the preliminary plat approval, there were 4 conditions. The church has complied with all 4 of those conditions. And as a result, there are no outstanding issues to be addressed by the owner. And that would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobrick. At this time, the public hearing is open. If there is anyone that would care to be heard, please come state your name and address for the record.
Well, seeing no one's coming up here, I'll close the public hearing and offer a resolution approving the final plot of Oakwood UMC First Edition located at 1630 Oakwood Avenue and 1613 Betker Road.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Betker.
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 3.1, licenses and permits, temporary on-sale intoxicating liquor license for New Ulm Area Chamber of Commerce.
I'll motion to approve the issuance of a temporary on-sale intoxicating liquor license to the New Ulm Area Chamber of Commerce to sell alcohol during the Business of the Year event at 1500 North Front Street from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, subject to all compliance with city and state requirements.
I'll second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. 3.2 is a temporary outdoor patio application and liquor license extension for Sweet Haven Tonics.
I'll offer a motion to approve the temporary outdoor patio application for Sweet Haven Tonics, 116 North Minnesota Street, for use of the public right-of-way for installation of a temporary outdoor patio from May 1, 2024 to October 31st, 2024, and offer the resolution to extend their liquor license into the temporary outdoor patio area as defined in the diagram with conditions outlined in the application.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional, lots of seconds today. Any additional discussion?
The first one of these that we've approved this year so far?
So far this
Okay.
year, I
Yep.
think so. Yes.
And then the only change is there's no deadline on these now. It's just whenever they get them in, they can get them in, but they still have to be out by first snowfall or October 31st.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That. Oh, this is a resolution too? Yes. Okay, Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Bettker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item 3.3 is lawful gambling premises permit for New Ulm Baseball Association.
I'll offer a resolution to approve the issuance of a lawful gambling premise permit for New Ulm Baseball Association to conduct lawful gambling at Black Frost Distilling LLC 201 First North, New Ulm.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Bettker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 4.1 is summary of business conducted during board and commission meetings.
I can start with some things with the EDA. Last week, we toured the CTE Center. We've given them quite a bit of money, $190,000 since they've opened, and $40,000 here recently. So they invited us to come and take a tour, and the mayor and I were there, and a bunch of other folks, and Andrea was there.
I
Can't remember.
wasn't, but I have a reason which I'll talk about.
Oh, okay. But it was a great tour. We got to see a lot of what's going on. When we were there originally, they weren't open yet. So now it was good to see them operating it and some of the new programs that they have. And we had Principal Mark Bergman gave us the tour and just excited. I mean, just to see the enthusiasm in his face and proud of what they're doing down there. So, and they kind of showed us some of the areas where our money is being spent and has been spent. So that was really valuable for us as well. There was 4 of us counselors that were toured or got to see the My Hometown video. So that was great. We all kind of got to do that. In the childcare world, we had our meeting last week and had Liz from Park and Rec come in and talk on a Zoom about the after-school daycare, which none of us had a really good concept of what was going on there. So it was good to get that information and for us to share maybe with some things that we could do to help improve that program or expand that program maybe down the road. So that was some good discussion there. So that's what I got.
All right, Heritage Preservation met last night. They approved one signage grant for Ulm Sweet Ulm, located at 209 North Minnesota Street. I believe that's going to be the new book and coffee shop store in New Ulm. Okay, Park and Rec, they had a busy meeting. Further down the agenda, you'll see BMX is going to be in for camping again at their annual tournament. Park and Rec is going to be here for pickleball updates, asking for a little fund balance, and then some donations. One other item the Park and Rec had was a work session. Most of you read it in the Journal on the baseball associations, what they like to do at Johnson Park. I actually asked them, when they do get a lot further along in information, they're going to bring it to us in a work session, because there's going to be a lot of hoops to jump through if they go ahead with it. And tomorrow, I'm going to be attending the Youth Network New Ulm at the Country Club. That's it.
I've got nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing to do.
Nothing? Okay. I'll also be attending the Network New Ulm Youth event. Love going to that every year, hearing from our juniors and seniors. I was not able to tour the CTE Center with the EDA this time around. I was actually at the Welcoming Interactive Conference in Dallas. That was part of the grant that we wrote and received for the city. And lots of learnings from, actually, there was a lot of Minnesota groups there, but nationally, just things that communities are doing to welcome new citizens, maybe look at some different cultural events and some things that are taking place. And so as part of my attendance, we did get the news that we're going to receive another $500 for our city to host its own welcoming event in September. We have what's called Welcoming Week. That's a national thing, kind of like National Night Out, where you can, choose and do some different types of events. And so when more information comes on that, I will report again. Those are my updates. Mayor?
I had a very busy couple of weeks. I was at the Cook Show that was sponsored by the Prairie Peacemakers Quilt Guild. They had over 200 quilts, almost 300. Spent about an hour and a half, and I could have stayed longer, but I had another meeting. wonderful work and also put ribbons on 3 of the quilts. It was very difficult to make a decision, but in the end, you had to do it. So that was a great day. Also, we had the groundbreaking for the new Readiness Center of the National Guard, and that was a good day. We first of all met over in the Armory and then went out to the site and did the ceremony out there. I stayed around so that I could tour also the new maintenance shop, and I was in awe. I mean, there were 3 tanks in there, and you wouldn't have noticed them because the facility is so large, it just dwarfed everything that was in there. So that was a great day for the city of New Ulm as well, to continue that partnership that's been ongoing for 110 years with our Minnesota National Guard, and for them to reinvest in us is great. Part of the information that they shared with us is they hope that it's an 18-month project, and that they'll be vacating the Armory after that. And of course, then we all know that there's going to be a couple of vacant buildings that we will get to look at as the city and the county and others. So thank you. Oh, and I will not be at the youth meeting tomorrow because we are going to recognize the tourism person of the year tomorrow. That person is selected by the chamber, and former Mayor Terry Sweeney will be the recipient of that award.
Great.
Great updates, everyone. Thank you so much. Moving on to old business, item number 5.1, ordinance number 2024-083, second consideration, section 1 definitions, general provisions regarding ward and precinct boundaries.
Council President, Councilors, this is just the second consideration of the ordinance, putting together or setting forward our administrative citation process that we'll be using for code violations moving forward. There's 2 separate actions. The first one is to consider and adopt the ordinance, and the second one is approving, authorizing the summary publication of the ordinance in the newspaper.
I'll offer motion to conduct the second consideration of and adopt the ordinance number 2024-083, amending section 1 definitions, general provisions, ward and precinct boundaries by adding sections 1.12, enforcement of city code violations to the city code.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? This requires a 4/5 majority, so I will ask for a roll call on this. Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry.
Now do we need 1, 2 on the other?
Yes, we need another motion.
I'll motion to approve motion authorizing the summary publication of ordinance number 2024-083.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz? Yes. Counselor Warmka? Yes. And President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Supplementing, we have item number 5.2 regarding ordinance number 2024-084, second consideration, section 8, public protection.
Council President, Councilors, this section for second consideration is adding the public nuisance portion to our code. So instead of issuing citations all the time and then just coming back next year, this will allow us or give us teeth to actually remove items that are deemed public nuisance moving forward.
Heard no complaints about this either, so I'll make a motion to conduct the second consideration and adopt ordinance number 2024-084, amending section 8, public protection, hereby amended by adding sections 8.48 and through 8.50 to the city code, and also approve motion authorizing the summary publication of ordinance number 2024-084.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. I will say we've been working on that for a long time, so it's very good to see this progress continuing to move along. Under new business, item number 6.1 is the 2025 budget calendar and requests for funds application.
Counselors, this is just presenting you with the budget calendar for the upcoming year that we'll start working on here very soon. It does allow for a couple of work sessions, one in July to review all of the budget request applications that we receive from the nonprofits, and then a final, or another work session in August, on August 20th. And that would be the first look at that preliminary budget before the approval in September. And then I was also looking for your input on that application for the nonprofits, just to make sure you're getting all the information that you would like to see when you're reviewing those applications.
Thank you, Nicole.
So, one more time, are we going to do a work session before that or not for the nonprofits?
The work sessions would start in July.
Yeah.
That first one that is set, there is room to have one before that, but that would be more about if you want some preliminary input into what should or shouldn't be in the budget, or what kind of revenue streams we're using to fund some of the items. But that is not a set date, so that would be up to
Thank
you
you.
at a later date.
And I think we decided last year that the nonprofits would come in front of us again, correct?
They do in July, yep. Yep. Yeah, so this would require them to have the application in to us by June 28th, and then we would review and put the information together, and then the work session would be held on July
Okay.
16th for you to review. And then your final approval would be at that August 6th council meeting.
I know it's really preliminary, Nicole, but are you aware, are there any new ones again?
I'm going to be a new one. Turner Hall will be a new
Okay.
one.
I figured there would be some, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't have a
there will
specific
be.
list.
At least two for sure that I know of.
I know another too. Yep.
And then as part of the application, I did ask that they are prepared to have a representative at that work session in July.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 budget calendar and application for funding requests, and set the dates for the budget work sessions on July 16th, 2024 and August 20th, 2024, following the regular city council meeting in the City Hall Council Chambers.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Well, Nicole had a question too, whether or not we wanted more.
Is there,
any-
yeah, do you want more? I mean, the application's pretty basic. It asks for the name of the organization, a point of contact, the amount that they want. It asks for other revenue sources and explains, and asks them to explain how the funds will be used. And then we're also requiring some financial documents, including a balance sheet and an income statement for their most recently completed year.
I think that covers, the rest I think we can get in our open question dialogue, I would think.
I would also like to see some accountability on how that money is spent, because once they get that money, we have no idea. I mean, they say that they're using it, and we all know that the nonprofits use things for worthy causes. But if we want to continue to give them money, we want to make sure that, especially now with a lot more nonprofits potentially coming to the table.
So you're saying if organizations have received the funds in the past, you want to know how those funds were spent?
Yes. So yeah, if somebody is reapplying, just proof of how those funds were used. And that should be pretty basic, I think, especially if it's, for particular projects. But I would like to see that, just
You want proof, or do you want a statement on how the money was spent?
proof.
Okay.
Like just a bank statement or something that highlights either the check that was cut for something, or, it's something. I mean, they're getting thousands of dollars, and I don't think that that's too much to be asking.
Just want to make sure we clarify it.
Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 6.2 is regarding a closure of portion of First South Street for New Ulm Farmers Market.
Council President, Councilors, before is a request from Chamber of Commerce to close a portion of First South over by Ada Zinnia for the farmers market. So this would be Thursdays and Saturdays starting June 20th through October 5th. And that's why it's coming to you before council because it's over 14 days of closure. So Thursdays would be 2:30 to 5:30 closure. And then Saturdays would be 9 to 12. They're only blocking half the street. So the farmers market will be in the Ada Zinnia parking lot, bleeding over into that portion of First South. The parking lot will be accessible for the public. That's behind Ada Zinnia. And the chamber has talked to the other businesses there, and they're all in favor of having it at that location. Or not opposed to having it in that location.
Well, I can say that I'm really excited that we're doing this and that the city's going, or the chamber's taking this on and wanting to expand it. I was up in Grand Forks a couple of years ago, and their farmers market on Saturday is the place to go on Saturday. It's where you bring the kids, it's where you bring the dogs, you eat, there's music, there's crafts, it's just so fun. And I hope, and we're not as large as they are, of course, but I've always thought we could do so much more with the farmers market. So I'm really glad that the chamber's going this route and really wanting to push it. And I can see it really becoming a thing as well. So I'll see if anybody's got any other comments first. No? I'll offer a resolution then to approve the closure of a portion of First South Street from Broadway to public parking lot entrance on Thursdays from 1:30 to 6:30, Saturdays from 8 to 1, from June 20th, 2024 to October 5th, 2024 for the New Ulm Farmers Markets.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
We do have Sarah here. You want to talk about what you were expanding? Let's give it a little publicity. Sorry, Dave.
You want me to kick you?
Yeah, you can kick me. But I'm excited about it.
Yes, hi, Sarah Warmka from the Chamber. So when KNUJ approached us to take it on, because they no longer can, we thought it was going to be on German Street again. Of course, German Street's being torn up, which we're excited about too, because progress. So trying to find a new location, and we work closely with Chris and Downtown Action Team and some other groups to find a location. Ada Zinnia wants it in there. It's nice, visible on Broadway. The public parking lot's right behind there, as well as street parking. And we're hoping to continue to grow, especially on the Saturdays with music and kids' crafts and different things.
So you talked about adding vendors to sell handcrafted items, so things for under 18.
So there has been before a junior membership too, but we want to support young entrepreneurs. So we're talking about specific days that are specific for kids to come and sell items, like a kids farmers market, which would be pretty fun. But otherwise, in general, and anyone under 18 can attend at a lower cost as a registration. We're going to create a new website, newulm.com/farmers market, where we'll have the schedule of events for the week. All the registration forms and vendor information will all be on there as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great, thanks for taking this on.
Good, thank you. Just also of note, I did hear Councillor Warmka say he'll be abstaining from this vote. So if there's no more discussion, then we will call for the roll call.
Councillor Mack,
Yes.
Councillor Christian,
Yes.
Councillor Schultz, and President Becker.
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 6.3, group photo for community collage project.
Council President, councilors, this was brought up. Councilor Schultz was wondering if you, as a collective group, including the mayor, would like to be part of the community collage project. And considering there would technically be a quorum, just want to get it out there prior. So it would be April 28th, and part of it would be selecting a time. Let's see, it's all afternoon now. All the morning slots are full. So if you're around in the afternoon, that'd be great. Again, I think it's a cool project. I'm kind of signed up there multiple times to be in different groups. So it would be cool to get the current council that's there part of the project.
I just kind of mentioned, I thought the council should be part of this, and the mayor.
Yep.
I'm already signed up for a noonish time slot, so I can
So
probably
the
stick
closest
around.
time to noonish is 1:45.
So, we can, it'll be fun, I think, to be down there. Normal
it's gonna end
clothes,
up-
like, should we talk about what we're going to wear, later?
No.
May I borrow somebody's uniform?
You kind of want to match a little bit, but
Blow this picture up and put it on the side of a building
Yeah.
somewhere, right?
Somewhere,
We don't
yeah.
have a building picked out. though.
Proposed side of the chamber, we just got to figure out if we can put it on there, what we would need to put it on there, so. But it'll be somewhere in the downtown potentially, or somewhere else in the community, but yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
You said there's already a noon slot's already full.
Yeah, so
Early ones are gone.
yeah, all the early ones are gone, so you have 1:45, 2:30, 2:45, 3, 3:15, 3:30, 3:45, 4,
Let's take the early one.
1:45?
1:45.
Would you remind me of that?
I will send you a calendar invite, yes.
All right, fantastic. Good idea. Yeah, I think this is going to be a neat project for the community and,
I do too. I think it's kind of neat.
okay, we're in. So I guess I'm looking for a motion to meet so that we can,
I'll
Right.
offer a motion to agree to meet on Sunday, April 28th at 1:45 for a group photo at Sweet Haven Tonics for the Community Collage Project.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 6.4, MHFA grant application for EMBD. And I hope, Chris, you'll explain some of these acronyms. There we go.
No way, no way. There is no acronym for EBMD, and that's just the name of the developer for the mall project.
Oh, there we go.
So, in order to apply for the Minnesota Housing and Finance Agency Workforce Development Grant, we have to pass a resolution because we technically are the applying agency. This project specifically is for a portion of the Marketplatz Mall. This is for 30 units. They're doing between 60 and 90 units there. So 30 units will be workforce housing. They will be applying for $1 million for the grant, and the city match would be roughly $500,000. That would be covered through tax abatement or the tax increment financing. And then still waiting for the application to be finished, but that's due on April 30th. So we currently have the letters of support, and with the resolution, we pretty much have all the city side of things done for the grant.
Any idea of when notification, if you receive it?
Last time we got it around September, October.
Okay, thanks.
Depending on how many applications go in. But last year or 2 years ago when we applied, they were only expecting about 20 applications. They got 108. And with more funding in this time, I think there's going to be a lot more applications coming in.
Chris, have we received any funds in the past
For this program,
for
no.
this program?
No.
And then I guess my question is, because we're going to have another one of these on the agenda here farther up, is there a possibility that they would just split the amount between two entities if it's from the same city?
They could, potentially, or they could fully fund both. It really depends. Number of units, cost, number of applications they get in. But I know at least the next development said up to $1 million, and I'm pretty sure this one will go up to $1 million as well. So if they reduce the cost, they'll be able to come down a little bit.
Say, for example, if they wouldn't get this, are they still planning to proceed with development?
Yep.
This is just another tool, if I'm understanding correctly?
Have we ever done tax abatement or a TIF at that amount?
Yes.
We have, okay.
I'll go ahead and offer the resolution to submit a grant application to the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency on behalf of the EBMD.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 6.5 is also an MFHA grant application, this one for Greenlaw Homes.
And this one, just for clarification, this one will be the Highland and Maplewood project. So that'll be primarily for the 2 apartment buildings that are going to be there, even though the whole development will most likely be a majority workforce development. This is primarily for the 2 apartment buildings.
Well, I'll offer a resolution to submit grant application to Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, MHFA, on behalf of the Green Law Homes.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 6.6, award contract to Bolton and Mank for strategic plan services.
Council President, councilors, surprisingly, we got eight responses to our RFP, a lot more than I was expecting to get in, and they were from all over the U.S. Bolton and Mink did score highest at 422, even though they had a fairly high cost at $94,956. 5 staff members reviewed. It was myself, the city engineer, library director, park and rec director, and our city planner. After some discussion, we felt that having interviews, staff interviews, weren't necessary because three of the 5 rated Bolton and Mink number 1, and they outscored everyone by 10 points. And so we recommend moving forward with Bolton and Mink. They had a very strong community engagement piece to this, which I feel we need for something this size for our first undertaking, getting the community feedback on what city priorities should be and the different strategies, I think will be paramount moving us forward. So it's my recommendation and staff's recommendation to move forward with Bolton and Mink.
Thank you.
Chris, can you talk about the comprehensive plan, where that's at, what the timetable is? I really think that's got to be done and absorbed and approved before we can start down this road.
I mean, sure, I guess. So the comp plan is kind of in the final stages. We're looking at, staff had to go through and do some rewrites to that. So that'll be going to the Planning Commission in fairly soon for their approval and then your approval. But I mean, you can do both of these at the same time because they're 2 different documents. While some information will feed into the strategic plan, the strategies of the city moving forward over the next 10 years are kind of
But
their
you
own
want to follow the
standalone.
guidelines of the comprehensive plan and where we're going that route in order to do the strategic plan.
No, so the comp plan is development. This is what we as a city, as strategies for economic development, transportation. So
But
some
all
of that
that's part of
feeds
the
in.
strategic plan or the comprehensive plan too.
To some degree, yes, but
Okay.
wow.
Okay, regarding the comprehensive plan, our schedule at this point in time is we have a project steering committee that will be hopefully meeting next week to review a draft of the plan. We are scheduling a community open house for the first or second week in May. Following that, we will have a public hearing conducted by the Planning Commission at their May meeting. And hopefully at that time, they make a recommendation to the City Council. So the City Council would consider it your first meeting in June. And actually would kind of dove real well with the proposed strategic plan.
Will we get copies of that draft?
Do you want copies of
Yep.
the draft?
We would. I would.
Realizing that, changes are
Oh, I know it's a
possible
draft,
to the
but
doc. It's a
Go
draft.
go
yeah.
through all the steps, the protocol, steering committee, whatnot, and I'd rather look at the draft.
Sure.
So you think it'll be totally complete approved by the council on what month?
Your first meeting in June,
If we approve it.
if you approve it.
Okay. That's good. That's all I wanted to know. I'm just concerned maybe we were going too quick, but
If there's nothing else, I'm going to say a motion to select the firm of Bolton and Mink to provide consulting services for the preparation of a strategic plan in the amount not to exceed $94,956.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Enthusiastic seconds all around today. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen? Nope. Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That carries. Item number 6.7 is BMX request for temporary camping.
Thank you, Council President Betker, councilors. This is a temporary overnight camping request from the River Valley BMX Club for their state tourney on June 14th through the 16th. River Valley BMX generally hosts 1 to 2 type of events like this a year, and commonly this is a request that you've approved in the past. I will say we have not seen issues. Staff reported good cleanup through the event. The camping happens in South German Park, right across 3rd Street there, and they can use the amenities at the BMX park that are provided. So looking for approval of this request.
Thank you.
I'm going to offer the resolution to authorize the overnight temporary camping not to exceed 5 recreational fires in South German Park near 3rd South Street for BMX Minnesota State Qualifier Race Event on the nights of Friday, June 14th, Saturday, June 15th, and Sunday, June 16th, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker.
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 6.8 is the Lincoln Park Pickleball Court Replacement Project.
Thank you, Council President Betker, councilors. This request is before you as you had budgeted $140,000 for Lincoln pickleball court replacement. In meeting with 4 different contractors on site, staff, it was recommended to staff that there's a little more of an issue with our base concrete surface there, which we were hoping not to have to build into this project. Turns out, when we resurfaced the 6 pickleball courts in late 2017 and opened in 2018, realizing that I wanted everyone to know that it was tennis for a long period of time with that same base surface. That was just a top layer replacement at that time. So looking for fund balance to offset the difference in this additional cost to lay a new layer of asphalt. It would be a different surface. And then staff is recommending Herculean product, Herculean surface, which has more give in it. Pickleball is seeing a lot of injuries. Older adults tend to play the game, and it's on hard surfacing, it's on concrete, it's on asphalt in the top layer. This is a little more of an in-depth surface that we think is going to be a premier surface in New Ulm and set ourselves apart. And other, we had competitive bids on that, but all contractors did say that doing anything but replacing that existing surface and ripping out and replacing would not get you what you wanted out of the project. I will say this is expected to last much longer. That's why we did budgeted more this year for the project. 6 years ago, it cost $30,000 to do. This is a totally different product. That's why it's an additional cost just for the pickleball court surfacing. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have related to this project.
And again, backing the Park and Rec Director's comments, the Park and Rec was unanimously in favor of it. It's such a big deal, and after checking with our Finance Director, we're in good shape with our fund balance. Correct, Nicole? I'm going to motion to approve the Lincoln Park Pickleball Court Replacement Project using $140,000 in budgeted funds and Park and Recreation fund balance to cover the total expected project cost of $172,792.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
I think people are really excited about getting this up and going. I know I was on that park a couple of years ago, and the cracks were dangerous, really. They really were dangerous. So this is and when are they going to work on this?
So Councilor Schultz would be, if approved here now, we will work with the pickleball court action floors and seeing what their schedule looks like, and then work on and build our schedule based on that. So I would anticipate late summer, early fall at the earliest, probably.
Okay. Just
And
curious.
I will say one thing, we did check a couple references in in upper UP Michigan, and we have one that this surface has lasted 12 years and had no cracking. Only issues are fading of color. So, and another reference also checked out in that, so we're really excited about this product.
Great, thank you.
Best to do it right.
Well, Herculean, it sounds like the best. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 6.9, Park and Rec donations.
I'll offer the resolution to accept donations offered to the City of New Ulm through the Park and Rec Department as outlined. Paver stones at Herman Heights from Larry and Kathy Lotito, honoring Larry and Kathy Lotito family for $200. North Park pitching mound from the New Ulm Junior Baseball Association for $2,000, totaling $2,200.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Betker?
Yes, that motion does carry. With no additional business today, this meeting is adjourned. We will move into a work session shortly. Thank you.